My name is John Howard. My date of birth is August the 8th, 1944. It was my mother's birthday, and I was born in Marlow, Kentucky. I was born at home, as my other siblings, most of them.
Who delivered you?
Dr. Collier.
Was it a easy birth, difficult birth?
Have no idea where is it easy birth. My mother never spoke of that.
Tell me a little bit about growing up in Marlow in the coal mining camp there.
Yes, I was born in a coal mining camp. All my brothers and sisters were born there. My dad was a coal miner. He basically worked all his life in the coal mines. He knew nothing else, and we knew no other lifestyle than the coal mining industry. In a camp that was owned by the owners of the mines where my father worked. We had our grocery store there where we traded groceries. We was only allowed to trade so much groceries per day.
Why?
Because everything run on a tally, and you only allowed to be so much in debt, and no matter how many children you had, you could only trade so much per day. We had our own school there. We had our service station there. We had my dad was working in the union mines, made decent money, but he sometimes when the coal mines was bad or work was low, he worked 2-3 days a week, which really hurt our standard of living.
What were your parents' names?
My mother's name was Cindy Fields, her maiden name, and my father's name was Bill Howard. He was born and raised in and around Jackson, Kentucky. My mother was born and raised in Lion Fork, Kentucky.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
13 sisters and brothers, 14 of us all, 7 boys and 7 girls.
What was your house like in Marlow?
We had what they call an old farmhouse in Marlow. All the homes in Marlow camp were primarily the same size and the same features, except for ours. We had an old building there that my mother and dad lived in, an old farmhouse they called it. It had logs for rafters for the floors and joists. Had a big fireplace and big chimney outside made of rock. It was a pretty good size little house, but it had like 3 small bedrooms, living room, the hallway, and kitchen. Basically, it was a tin roof, an old style tin roof, and it was different from all the other houses in the camp.
Did you have running water in that house?
We did not have running water until I was probably 10 years old. We didn't have any air conditioning. We didn't have any TVs. We didn't have a lot of things that the families of today have. We didn't have showers. We didn't have bathtubs. If you washed, you had to use a wash pan. If you had to get water to drink, you had to walk 50 yards to get water out of an old faucet. You carry it to the house to drink. We drank out of a water pail. We didn't have a well at that time. We had a well in the backyard, but it was long gone. It was useful early on, but by the time I was 8, 9, 10 years old, it was depleted. So we had to use water that was pumped there through the company store, from the company store.
Did you have electricity?
We had electricity, basically no air conditioning. Every now and then we'd have a small fan in the house to cool ourselves, but we heated with coal, and we had little grates. We had 2 grates, one in one bedroom and a coal stove and to cook on, and we had another grate in one of the bedrooms. Until later on, they finally got a warm morning stove that was run by coal. We heated with coal. So basically, that was our heat source in the winter.
Growing up in a community like that, did you just think that was normal life, or did you think that you guys lived above standard or beneath standard?
We didn't think of standards. We really didn't. Everybody in that camp lived basically the same way. They most had smaller families than us, but we lived and ate. We never went hungry. We didn't eat what we wanted. We eat when time come to eat. If you wasn't there to eat, you didn't eat. We had no leftovers. We didn't have no snacks at night. If you didn't eat at dinner time, you didn't eat. We walked probably 75 yards around the side of a hill to the school. That's where we went to school. And the company store was probably 125 yards away. And that's where we went and traded groceries. And basically my dad didn't get he worked 30 years there, and I never knowed him drawing a check from the store or company, because he's always in the hole. What we call the hole is your debt to the company. And if you bought groceries at the store there, it was 3 times as much the price of a pound of bologna as it would be in Whitesburg, which is 2 miles away. But once you got in the hole, you had no money to go to the outside to buy clothes of any kind. Clothes, food, and gas, and all those sources would come from the company store. If he needed money for us when we got in high school for our lunch money, we had to go to the company store and borrow the money weekly for us to eat in the lunchroom in high school. We had to go borrow it, and it went on the books. And basically, if we borrowed $3 a week, they put it on the books, and it showed at the end of the month what you owed.
Do you think you grew up with that family happy?
Yep. We had probably 1,000 acres of land. We had 1,000 acres of land probably to play in. We built cabins. We basically lived in the woods, in the forest. That's where we spent most of our time. Winter, summer, or a creek bank. But we had a good life growing up. No shoes. We never wore shoes in the summer.
Your school, was it a single room schoolhouse or multiple room schoolhouse?
It's a 3-room school. One room had sliding doors between the upper grades, in between them, which is the 4th and the 5th and the 6th, 7th and 8th. One room consisted of 2 rooms, and you had one for the 1st grade, and you had another room for, say, the 3rd and the 4th. So it's 4 rooms, but one room was a combination of 2.
How long did you go to that school?
8 years. We all went to that grade school. Didn't have a lunchroom in my years. And later on, my siblings that was younger than I, they did have a little lunchroom that they ate. Went there for 8 years. We all did.